Welcome, everyone, to today's live stream, episode number 51 of our Baldur's Gate 3 Honor Mode gameplay series. I'm Commander Jorval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So, nothing new in admin notes for the game. We're still all awaiting patch 8. As far as the channel goes, the update's the same as it was last time. Later on this afternoon, I'm going to put up a poll and take everyone's input on what we should be playing next. I think we probably have 2 more weekends of playing this playthrough here before we are finished and moving on to the next thing. Our Veilguard, Dragon Age the Veilguard playthrough is going to be ending tomorrow. Tomorrow should be the last day of that playthrough. So we'll have 2 spots opened up. One of them we're going to move the Avowed live stream to Sunday, to the spot where the Dragon Age live stream is, and we'll have an open spot here. So I'm going to put up a poll and take y'all's input on what you would like to see me play next, and then I'll spend a couple of weeks kind of getting familiar with that game, and we'll go from there. If you want to see another playthrough of this, obviously that's going to be a choice, but I'm going to list other games up there as well, and I'll let y'all decide. So I'm anxious to see y'all's input. Hey Rudi, welcome. Good to see that badge next to your name there, Rudi. Thank you again. I appreciate that. And welcome to the live stream. So I think that's it on our admin notes. So on a recap, at the end of last week's episode, we had finished up with Leroican, Sorceress Sundries, and Ramesses Tower. And we went and talked to Mistra at the end of the live stream with Gale, and now we're ready to move on to our next major questing item, and that is the House of Hope. Now, I've been dreading this for 50 weeks now. I remember very early on in this playthrough, I had a question in chat. If I was planning on doing all of the battles and fights in the game, and I said I was. I knew that there had been changes in Honor Mode to Raphael. I knew that this fight was going to be significantly harder, and I've been honestly dreading it for a year now. So we'll go ahead and jump in here, we'll kind of take stock of where we are, and we'll get ready. Okay, so here we are. If you remember at the end of last week's live stream, we had taken Gale and we had talked to Mistra. Then we had kind of gotten our party back to normal. We're going to take a... Yeah, we're going to take a long rest here. But before we do, we're going to go check out one thing. I need to take a look. Well, okay. So let me go check out one more thing. We're gonna go to the basilisk here, and I'm gonna just break my party because I'm not gonna need
What path
anybody.
lies before me?
I'm gonna head here.
Let's see what this does.
I should not be doing this, but It's already open. Because I did not test this, but I read something literally before the live stream starts, and I can test it here real quick.
So the guild comes out on top. Sometimes 9 fingers are all you need, eh? What are you having?
Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna buy 2 Terazul here before I go into the long rest. Okay, now, Terazul, some of you might not be familiar with it. This is one of those things like the roasted dwarf parts here for my bard that does not take an action to use. You can simply use it and get the benefit of it. Now, the benefit of it is that it is a haste condition. Okay, and I've read that the haste condition that this gives you stacks with other haste conditions. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, so we're going to go test this to see how it works. Now, there's a big benefit, and I don't need to walk all the way back up. There's a big benefit to the haste spore grenade. Okay. The haste spore grenade gives you hastened for 3 turns. However, at the end of that 3 turns, you do not get lethargy. So you do not get a lost turn. And we can illustrate that here. Because we do have 4 of these. One, it's a slightly bigger AoE than a potion of speed is that you would throw on the ground. And now you see everyone is hasted. Now, the turn thing is not necessarily kind of what you think it is. But I'm now going to take a Terazul and see what happens. Where did it go? Hello? They were right here, weren't they? Did I thought I bought them. Did I not buy them?
Let's march! My faith protects me.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Really? Karlach has them. Okay. Interesting. Did I take Karlach down there to buy him instead of my bard? Oh well. Either way. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to see what happens to this haste condition and my actions. So I've got 2 actions right now. Okay. Okay. So I have 3 actions now. So...
Well, well, well.
I'm gonna wait for everything to tick over here. Okay, so now if I... Okay, so maybe Terazul... Okay, so she got it back.
Let's move.
Fly might not trigger. Okay, it does. It still stacks. So for 2 turns, I would have it. I would have the ability to get 3 actions. Okay, and then once that's done, I became exhausted, but see, haste spores wore off here on Karlach, and there was no lethargy. So the haste spores don't last for 3 turns, they last for 1 turn. You have to renew it at the end of that turn, but the haste spore grenade cloud doesn't go away. It stays there for
Don't burn yourself.
3 turns. And see, now on the 3rd turn, the haste spore cloud goes away. So that's what the 3 turns versus 1 turn is. When you step into the aura, you get 1 turn of haste. When the end of that turn, you don't get lethargy, and then you can move into that cloud or out of that cloud and into it again to regain a new turn of haste, and you can do that for 3 turns. Terazul stacks on top of that, gives you another action, and it does not cost you an action to use it. So that's going to change how I work a little bit in this encounter. So let's go ahead and take our long rest. And we'll see if anybody needs to speak to us. It doesn't look like it. We'll just go make the rounds real quick, see if anybody wants to talk about Gale.
Mistra has forsaken Gale entirely. Imagine how he must be feeling. I doubt I could go on if Lady Shah turned on me.
Okay, so nothing there.
Far from me to judge Gale for playing coy with Mistra, but I will not be cleaning up whatever mess she makes of him for it.
Fine lodgings you have found, my friend. Boo is already in negotiations with the guardian spirits of this place. In Baldur's Gate, they are likely to be rat-formed and eager to charge rent. But Boo shall secure safe slumber for all. Now, what do you need of Minsk?
Okay, nothing there.
You wish to consult me?
Nothing here.
This crown seems too powerful and dangerous an object for mere mortals to possess. Too dangerous even for Mistra. But I would sooner trust it with a god than with Gale.
Okay, let's go. I don't think Baldur has anything.
Whatever happens next, be sure that I will document it all as accurately
I was taking one last look to see if he might get a particular scroll. We'll take the scroll of disintegrate.
Wow. So that was Mistra. Pretty spectacular stuff. But I think Gale was right not to agree to do her bidding, no questions asked. I respect the gods, but but they don't always understand what they're asking of us. Maybe immortality makes it hard to know what it's like to be one of us piggies. Proud of Gale, though. It takes some man to hold his own in front of the divine.
How can I help? I've often asked myself the same question, and never really found a satisfactory answer. He clearly sees something in me that I can't. The wisdom and intelligence required to overcome almost insurmountable odds, perhaps? Or the stupidity required to attempt it. I take it as a compliment either way. You don't get to be 13 centuries old without becoming a sound judge of character. And cheese, apparently.
Okay, so last one here.
Hello, my dear.
And nothing. Okay, so we will...
Better not be cursed.
Before we head to bed, we're going to pull out another couple of 1,000 gold. Okay, and now we get a quest completion or gather your allies, and now Roland is here. We can rely on the tower's full power should we ever need it. This, like I said last week, it does not proc immediately after you convince Roland to help you. It procs after you take your long rest. Okay, so we're gonna bring Zenith in, and we're gonna leave Karlak out.
This vessel is at thy disposal.
But the vessel only stares blankly. You'll need to make room in...
This solo...
I'm gonna move down here.
Can't afford to stay idle.
Move Shadowheart over
This
here.
All is ash and meat.
My Potio!
Father, they will die for you.
Okay, we'll bring Karlak
Soldier.
back in.
Looks like your troops all trooped up.
And we're going to head out to the lower city center. Yeah, lower city central wall. Actually, we'll split because I need to go Basilisk Gate.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
And I'm gonna see if he has any more Terazul. I think he has random amounts of them each long rest.
Time to press ahead.
So it should have reset.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
Thirsty yet?
And he does have another one. Okay. So now I will head to Lower City Central Hall. And let's get everybody buffed up here. Everybody with Longstrider. This, I still have the mace on my back.
What's next,
so
I
we'll
wonder?
get Shadowheart. slave. And the sentinel shield. And then Karlak needs to be shapeshifted. Into a dwarf. Unequip and re-equip the dwarven thrower.
What now?
Still alive, so that's progress.
Okay, now for me, I'm gonna make a little change to my loadout here in a little bit, and I'm gonna put a note in here to do it. I'm gonna keep the current gear that I have for the combat that we're gonna have as we go through this, but I'm going to make a change to it a little bit later. So now, as far as our elixirs go, Astarian's going to get Cloud Giant. Karlak is going to get Go Giant.
Let's get going.
Okay, and now where we're going is the Devil's Fee. Now, the first part of the Devil's Fee, it's important that you have Karlak in your party. You don't have to, but having Karlak in your party means that you're almost guaranteed not to fail anything in here. And that is the proprietor, Helsik, has 2 inventories, much like boy, what was his name in Rivington? The Sharon Lookout fur gear or something like that. You have to convince him to let him or do something to let you see his other inventory. It's the same thing here with this inventory, except you have to pass Arcana checks. But Karlak, being from the Hells, she knows what everything is in here. So her DC to pass these is a 0. Now she can still fail on a nat 1.
This is real. A death devil skull, by my reckoning. That is one big-ass Gargatula skull. A real diabolist must have collected all this. Sad occupation, really.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk around and there's a couple more.
That might be worth a look.
Not that.
Damn! Someone tore the horns off a war devil.
You can look at the
crystal,
orb.
You see the devil Raphael sipping from a goblet of blood-red wine. He smiles as he catches your eye. Can he see you?
And then we'll go over here.
What's that? These are real infernal gems. Straight from Minauros.
Okay, and that's all 4 of
Dream
them.
in red.
And now we can go over here and talk to Helsik.
I have something to ask.
I welcome thee to the Devil's Fee, where every hellish curio is a... Oh, it's you. Your little scroot of a friend left this on my floor the last time you visited. I presume you have returned to re-engage my services?
Okay, now this is specific to the Dark Urge. You have been here before.
You forgot what we did? I find that hard to believe. But if you speak truth, perhaps I could jog that lazy memory of yours. You seek answers, Lord Mammon seeks coin. I will happily mediate. Make me an offer.
Okay, so you can learn a little bit here. You have to give her at least 100. She'll call you cheap, but she does require at least 100. You don't have to give her 1,000.
The King of Avarice accepts your humble offering. You stand before Mammon's picklock, latchkeeper of the 9 hells. My business is not information, nor hellish curios. Not really. I break people into the hells. That's my thing. I opened a portal for you and Lord Gortash. My word, this is embarrassing. Perhaps I should have explained our terms better. You asked me to jog your memory. Jog I did. Our micropact is complete. Would you like to make another transaction?
Okay, so you can continue to go on with this.
Oh, yes. I should think that'll do deliciously. The two of you wanted to steal something from Mephistopheles. So I punched a portal into the Archdevil's dusty vaults. And then oh, gosh. My fickle memory fails. If only something would jog it.
So now it's just a shakedown at this point.
I mean, I suppose that'll do. Stingy bastard. You rascals stole the crown of Carsus. Pissed off Mephistopheles to no end. I expect you'll pay the price for that one day. You also attracted the attention of another devil, Raphael. His House of Hope is furnished with a great deal of treasures, many related to Carsus. But alas, he lacks the crown itself. He's rather ambitious. One can only wonder what he has planned for the crown. The answers to that can probably be found within his house.
Then perhaps we should drop by and surprise Raphael. It'd make a nice change.
So keen to return to the hells. Well, I suppose it's warm this time of year. Very well. If you wish to die in Avernus, that's your business. Mine is charging you for it. Of course, such a task will require quite the substantial donation to Lord Mammon's coffers.
Such a task would be tantamount to suicide. Do not even entertain it.
Okay, now we're done paying her. If you have a bard, there's absolutely no reason to go through and do this. We have a persuasion check. We have a warlock persuasion check. So we're going to persuade her that we'll add one of Raphael's artifacts to her collection. Now this is going to be the Gauntlets of Hill Giant Strength that you can collect inside Raphael's archive. Once you come back, she's going to ask if you recovered it, and you will have to lie to her. You will have to pass a deception check to say that you do not have it. And that deception check's pretty steep, so unless you've got a bard or paladin, somebody who's specifically charisma-based with those skills, I wouldn't recommend it, but we do, so we're not going to worry about it. Okay, so the DC here is pretty high. We've got a pretty good bonus, though. Oh, jeez. We tried our hardest to fail it.
You put me in a difficult position, mortal. You are almost certain to fail. Almost. And so, there is a chance you might succeed. Fine. I'd like to be able to carry all of my precious stock without the need of a team of oxen. There are gauntlets of hill giant strength within the House of Hope. Free passage, and you fetch them for me. Deal? Allow me to outline how this is going to work. First, you were never here. We never spoke. Second, you will perform the rites yourself. I want absolute deniability. Here's the grimoire and necessary components. Oh, take this key, too. It unlocks the ritual room upstairs. There's a blood circle already drawn. Don't ask whose blood.
Along with the grimoire and components, Helsik hands you a note containing precise instructions for performing the ritual.
Finally, you were never here. That is of utmost import to remember. Now be gone!
Okay, we're not going to be gone. We're going to talk to Helsik again.
How may I be of further assistance?
And you see there was an option to show me your where's the good stuff. And that's going to give us access to quite a few more things. Potion of Invisibility I definitely want. Okay, so the spell-seeking gloves. When you make a spell attack roll, you can spend a sorcery point to gain advantage. Cantrips cost 1 sorcery point, cost 1 sorcery point per spell slot level. So you can use your sorcery spell slots to gain a better chance of hitting with these. The Gemini gloves, cantrips targeting foes and allies can target an additional creature. The same target can be chosen twice. Now, this is basically like the Soul Spark or the Psychic Spark, giving you an extra magic missile type thing, except this works with cantrips. So, if you're using Eldritch Blast, this will allow you to target an additional target with it. If you're using Ray of Sickness or something like that, it will allow you to target an additional target. The Cloak of the Weave is a arcane enchantment, so that standard +1 bonus to spell save DC and spell save attack rolls. With the Hood of the Weave and the Cloak of the Weave, you can gain a +2 bonus to both of those, which is really, really nice. It comes with absorb elements, so once you take damage from it, next time you become resistant to it, and your next attack deals 1d6 of that element type. The Shapeshifter's Hat. This is for your Wild Shape Druids. Increases your Wild Shape charges by 1, and Nature +1. It restores after a long rest, so how useful it is, it's more useful for things like the Sporekeeper Druid, where you use your Wild Shape charges for other things. The Hellbeard Halberd is your basically Maragon halberd weapon. This does +6 poison damage flat out. That's the highest damage that you're going to get from poison damage flat out. You see +1s, +2s, and +4s. This is a +6. So if you are working around poison, it is the best weapon to have for it. And last is the Cative Staff. So standard arcane enchantment, +1 to spell save DC and spell attack rolls. However, it has Cative's Restoration. Replenish 1 expended warlock spell slot. So this works for me as well, since I have level 2 warlock spell slots. I can purchase this, keep it in my inventory, and if I'm out of short rests to get my warlock spell slots back, this would be a way to get 1 more of them back. It's not something that I'm going to do here, but it is a rather good item to have. So we'll just balance this offer here real quick and pick up the Potion of Invisibility.
Now you've seen what I have for thee. Remember, discretion is key at the Devil's Fee.
And now she mentioned we're going to have to head upstairs. Okay, now if you have not convinced her to give you the key and let you in, there's Frostkiss Ale right here. You'll need this. You can go into hiding and steal it. because right here there will be a ward on the ground. The only way to get past that ward is to speak with the mask on the wall, and he will tell you that he's thirsty. And you can give him either water or alcohol, and that's what you need the ale for. You can give it to him and he will deactivate this ward. Then you can come up here and lockpick the doors. We don't need to lockpick it. She's given us access up here.
I strongly suggest that you reconsider this course of action.
Okay, now the
Whatever you
Emperor's...
expect to gain from the Hells is not worth the risk of traveling there uninvited.
is trying to dissuade us from going in here. There are a bunch of things that you can search and loot in here, and all of the items that Helsik gave us, which are here inside this ritual pouch. All of these items you can actually loot from inside this room as well. Okay, so you don't have to talk to her and make the deal with her. You can come up here and loot all of these things. You will have to pickpocket the grimoire though. Okay, and this tells you where to place what items. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to open up the ritual pouch and move it off to the side. So the skull goes right here. If you placed it correctly, you will see the flames pop up around it. The coin is here. The diamond, you skip one and go there. The incense is here. And then the infernal marble goes in the middle.
You were wise to reject the devil's offer, but there is no reason to provoke him by invading his home.
Okay, the Emperor really does not want you to go in here. So before we go, there's a couple of things to know about this portal. You can traverse this portal back and forth as many times as you want, right up until the point you either rescue Hope, get caught stealing in the archive, or take either your infernal contract if you've made a deal with Mazora, or the Orphic Hammer if you've made a deal with geez, why am I blanking? Kithrak Voss. Okay. Once you've done any of those things, you will not be able to travel back out of this portal to here, because as soon as you click on it, Raphael is going to appear. But up until that time, you can freely travel back and forth, and we're going to make the best use of that. Okay, so we're going to go to our camp chest. There's a reason that we've been saving up all of these explosives. Okay. So I can't take any more there. We'll start loading everybody up. I want at least 10 of these. You might need more, or might want more, depending upon how you've laid out the game. Okay, and then I'm going to have Astarion also pick up the rune powder bomb. Okay, so I've got 5 here and 5 here for 10. Got 3 here and 1 here, so I'm carrying 14 of these. And the rune powder bomb. Now I'm going to go into the House of Hope. Okay, now, something that you'll want to do fairly quickly, and well, I guess let's talk to Karlach first.
Gods, I can't believe I'm doing this. We're gonna get out of here, right? Get in, get the hammer, and go. Easy. We won't get trapped here. We won't get dragged deeper into Avernus. We won't. On the bright side, my engine finally feels normal. Like it isn't about to explode. I gotta admit, that's pretty nice. Let's find that hammer and get out of here before I get used to feeling like I might live.
Okay, and the first thing that we're gonna do in here...
Keep a blade close.
...is have Astarion drop off the rune powder bomb. Okay, now... This we want to be placed
Can't reach us here.
right here in the center of the room. And why do we want that? The rune powder bomb has a very specific effect that goes along with it. One, it's high damage. Okay, at the minimum, it's going to do 50 damage. However, it automatically critically hits objects and environments. That's what's important about it. Okay. Now, why do I care about that? The soul pillars in this room, which are deactivated right now, there are 4 of them, are what gives Raphael his reoccurring powers. For every one of them that is still active, he can gain high power spell slots. Now, when you destroy all of them, he is going to be able to draw on the dead soul pillars one last time, but then he only has those 4 charges, and it's done. So, killing the soul pillars is the best thing to do to start off. Placing this right in the middle, the range on this is so big that it will hit the soul pillars, all 4 of them, from that central location. Now remember, the minimum damage on the rune powder bomb is 50. The total number of hit points on the pillars is 99. So at that point, doubling the 50 means that I'm going to be doing 100 damage, so it's going to kill all of the pillars of souls as soon as we activate the rune powder bomb. Now it's also going to do massive damage to everybody else in this room, so we need to be prepared for that. But there is a way around that you'll kind of see how we play it out. Now I'm going to bring Astarion over here. We're going to open his inventory again, and we're going to start placing rune powder barrels, or smoke powder barrels. Okay, and that's because we're going to get some cambions that spawn up here. When this goes off, it's going to kill all the soul pillars, but it's also going to ignite all of these smoke powder barrels and do force damage up here against the cambions. And that is what I want.
I'd love to, thanks. Where to?
Okay, so we got 5 on that side. Now we have 4 more, and this is me not playing this in honor mode during my testing. I don't have an honor mode playthrough other than this one. My off-stream honor mode playthrough is way behind all of this. I just simply didn't have time to keep it up and running. So I'm going to put another smoke powder barrel next to each one of the pillars. That's going to do a minimum of 22. It also automatically critically hits objects. So that's going to do a minimum of 44. I don't know if the health of the soul pillars goes up in honor mode or not. I've only tested this in tactician mode. So I'm gonna go put an extra smoke powder barrel next to each one of these
I wonder what the next move
pillars.
is. Got to press on.
Just in case. Okay, so that's both on this side. So we'll get both over here. Okay. So there we are. Now, it doesn't do any good to prep any surfaces, like throwing haste spores down here. Hey, Colson, welcome. Yeah, we're prepping for the fireworks. It's going to be a while until we get there, but you'll see them today. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you here again. So we've prepped everything, but like I said, it's no good to prep surfaces here on the floor. If you throw a speed potion down, or you throw a haste spore grenade or something like that on the ground, the surfaces reset once the turn ends, or once the cutscene plays. So come back later when we're getting ready to do this, and we will
pull yourself together.
be ready to throw our surfaces out once the combat starts. So now we are going to move into the House of Hope, and we're going to get a cutscene here.
You came. Such a shame. Curiosity killed all the cats. It won't be so kind to you.
As the woman speaks, you hear a distant rattle of chains, and she winces in pain.
The jailer will hear us. I shouldn't be talking to you. I must go. It's not kind to me.
The figure flickers and starts to dim from view, but you sense she could be convinced to return. The figure shimmers brightly. Your words seem to have piqued her curiosity.
Who am I? Oh, it's my favorite question. I scream it into the dark while I sleep, and whisper it to my memories when I wake. I'm the thing that kills you, and the only reason you're alive. Made by a promise, undone by the truth. A handshake, a hug, the first beat of a newborn's heart. I am hope. What little is left of her. A guttering candle in a universe of night. I'm not much of a friend to anyone anymore. But I could use a friend myself. Do you want a friend to guide you through this madhouse? I hear the jailer. It hears me. It'll call Raphael, make every question count. Make some of them count twice. Discovered an ancient Gith prince in need of a savior. The Orphic hammer is the perfect tool for breaking all infernal chains. Hope can help. The hammer is here in this house. It's...
You hear a sound like the rattle of a chain, and an agonizing scream in your head as hope flickers from view momentarily.
Shh. Quiet. There it goes. Everyone here is mad. Even you, especially me. And that makes them dangerous, but it also makes them stupid. I'll make you seem as ruined as the rest of the people here. A simple glamour to make you a terrible wretch. Now whisper your questions, little wretch. But really quiet and very clever. Concentrate.
Now you're going to have to make a skill check here to convince her to continue on. I have performance here. I also have charisma, but my performance skill is better. Now this DC is fairly straightforward.
Remember, quiet as a mouse. The same place you'll find your sorry little soul when Raphael rips it out. In the archive, down the corridor, past the debtor. Oh, the debtors. They won't like you. But I like you. I know I do. I think I do. I hope I do. I just need to ask one question, and I'll know for sure. Can you save me? Please, 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 please. You don't even know how. All right. You have to listen very, very, very closely. I will say this only once. Find the key, take the hammer, smash my chains. Find the key, take the hammer, smash my chains. Find the key, take the hammer, smash my chains. But be careful, when you take the hammer, the fire will come, and Raphael, you must run, 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 run. But don't forget me. Please, please, please. I don't want to burn. Not again.
The rattle of chains echoes louder from unseen places, and without a scream or a sigh, hope disappears.
Okay, now two things have happened. The first is she gave us a whole bunch of lore there and a whole bunch of what you have to do to finish stuff in here. Find the key, get the hammer, break her chains. You cannot break her chains until you get the Orphic hammer. Okay? To get the Orphic hammer, you have to have a key. And that key is something that we're going to learn about a little bit later. The second thing that happened is that we all look different. Every one of our characters now has the debtor's attire. Okay, now this is a quest item. It's orange. Every time you are in the House of Hope, you have to be wearing debtor's attire. If you are not, and you are seen by anybody, the entire place goes hostile and you cannot get out, because as soon as you click on the portal, Raphael appears. Okay? So that is the fourth way in which you can stop your ability to travel back and forth from Hull 6 feet. Okay, so always leave this attire on. It does not affect anything else. My armor class is still 28. It just is a disguise. Okay, so don't take it off. Leave it on the entire time you're in here. So now we can go start exploring a little bit through the House of Hope. And now we should recognize this place. There's the portrait of Raphael. This is where that dinner was set up the first time we met Raphael way back in Act 1. You can see it looks a little different. Okay, so it was obviously an illusion that he set up. We're gonna go over here and talk to the Infernal Mason.
I want to have a word.
Another sorry soul come to wander these halls. What do you seek? Despite appearances, this whole house is more of a prison than a parlor. Most here have no choice but to remain. I am one such. This is not my home, but I can never leave. I was an architect in life, a builder of tombs and temples, but mostly of towers. My proudest work reached for the stars and sought to dry Seluna's tears. It was a monument to life and to virtue, and a happy home to my master for many years. A great general, a greater man, Ketheric Thorm. When tragedy came, my master fell into darkness and despair. He marshaled a great army to ruin the world and bring all into shadow. I could not let it happen. I sought out the devil, Raphael, and signed an infernal pact with him. He promised to destroy my master's army, and I promised him my soul in return. The devil was true to his word. Fiends slaughtered my master's forces, but he endured somehow and blighted the land. Then all came to pass as I had hoped, though a century too late for my family and friends. Your actions may have justified the price of my soul. I thank you. Tell me, what became of my pride? What became of Moonrise Towers? I did not think it possible. Thank you. My spirit smiles for the first time in a century. Now go. Finish your business here and leave while you can.
Okay, so that's an interesting piece of lore there. We have met the architect of Moonrise Towers. Now, coming up this way, you have some infernal doors. Now, we're going to unlock these.
Keep your distance, darling. A crooked touch.
And this is a really high DC. So we're going to put a bardic inspiration on this as well as guidance. Oh, wow. Didn't need it. Okay, just to have those opened up, and you'll see the reason for that later on.
Moving in.
Now we'll head over to this other side over here. And these doors are unlocked. This is the way that you're meant to go in. And over here we have some debtors, and we have the hatchway to the prison. Now, we don't want to go this way yet, okay, but there is an opulent chest back here.
Simple.
Did I ever live anywhere else but here? Did I ever live?
And a scroll of Misty Step, so that can be very useful.
Step quick. Interesting.
This room doesn't serve any real purpose other than being really cool.
Over here! I can do better.
I must. When is a door not a door? When it's a jam jar! You won't find a way out here. Or a way in. This is the chamber of egress. The portals here crisscross the plains, but they won't open to the likes of you and me. This is how Raphael consults with his clients so efficiently, no matter the time, no matter the place, and it's how he stalks his prey. Oh, there is. If you stare into the portals long enough, your mind starts to do cartwheels and tricks you into thinking you're falling into a horrible, yawning void. It's one of my favorite ways to pass the time. But you have no time to waste. or time will waste you. And what you need from the house is in the archive. Not here!
Okay, and there is
nothing can
nothing
carry
in
me.
here. You can click on the portals, and they will give you some information about what they're looking at, but they don't go anywhere. If you have, like, Minthara in your party and you click on Menzo Baranzan, you'll get some dialogue. If you have Gale and you click on Waterdeep, you'll get some additional dialogue, but there's nothing else in here to see. Now, there are wardrobes and all that sort of stuff in here that you can loot. Very little is marked as steal. Now, we're going to come out here a little bit later because there are two things to look for out here. The first is this passageway here. And the second is this balcony all the way over here. But we're going to not do anything with them yet. Like I say, we're going to come back and take a look at this here in a little bit. Okay, these inner balconies just have some items that you can pick up and things like that.
Hurt me, please.
Now here is something slightly different. So we're going to have Shadowheart. Shapeshift. Okay, we're going to have her cast guidance.
This way.
Okay, and there's the perception check for the inert gem. Now, clicking on this, you're going to have to pass a DC 20 Arcana check. Now, I don't have anybody who's any good at Arcana. Okay. So, but I'm going to give it a try here with everybody, and I'm going to put on the Warped Headband of Intellect. Going to have my Bard cast Enhance Ability, because Arcana is an intelligence check, which is Fox's Cunning.
I've got what you need.
What am I to do?
Oh, this is the wisdom check first. Fault. You have your perception check, then you have a wisdom check. Oh, I wish I'd have saved that roll. And now, once I activate this, it's going to get an Arcana check. And this is the DC 20. I rolled an 8 on Bardic Inspiration. Nice.
I have such a headache.
Okay, now in here you have a big bunch of treasure chests, treasure crates that you can search, and you're going to get the Helldusk helmet. Okay? So you can see in magical and ordinary darkness up to a range of 12 meters, you cannot be blinded. The wielder has a +2 bonus to saving throws against spells, and attackers can't land critical hits on the wearer. Okay? It also allows you to cast Immolating Gaze, which frightens your target. Okay? You're going to deal 2d8 fire damage, but if the target's already burning, you're going to be doing an additional 2d8 fire damage. So this is going to be Karlach's replacement.
Soldier.
For the Steel Watcher helmet. I think. Yes, this is clothing.
Still breathing.
Now, there are two other things in here. The first is the Staff of Spell Power. Okay, and this gives you this Arcane Enchantment. This gives you Arcane Battery. So just like Marco Heshkir, your next spell you cast doesn't cost a spell slot. You can dual wield this with Marco Heshkir and get 2 free high-end spell slots if you want. It makes it very, very powerful to have. And then over on the other side, you have a contract. This is Mole's contract. And we now know how Mole was able to escape captivity. And when she was captured by the winged horrors during the attack on the Last Light Inn, she made a deal with Raphael to escape. And in exchange, she was given her eyesight back. You notice that she had 2 eyes, and when we gave her the eye patch, she didn't need it anymore. And now her contract is here. So this is a way to break her contract. So we'll do that for her by picking that up. And yes, Kulsa did identify there quickly that the gold amount was 666, which,
what a day.
Like we all think, is very, very appropriate.
Should be easy.
Okay, Potion of Angelic Slumber. Always nice to have more of those.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
This room is the parlor. You can't get in through the Mystic Force curtain here yet. But we will need to get in there.
Walk in death.
This is just another inner balcony up here. There's some more lore about Hope in here. How she got to be here.
Here goes nothing.
We have an outer balcony here that doesn't go anywhere. There is an eternal rat out here you can talk to. It doesn't tell you anything though. It will talk to you, but there's no useful dialogue out here. You can look out over the rest of the hells though, and you can see that we're floating. The House of Hope is on a floating island in Avernus. So it's actually pretty cool to see that reflected in the shadows. And here are those locked doors. Okay, so if you look at the map, you can see that straight through from here through this center section. Once this door is locked, you would have to go all the way around and through here to get back to the foyer. So this opens up a useful shortcut that you can do later on. We're not going to take it, just so you can see what the full thing is like. And then down here at the end, we have another guild chest.
I thought you'd got lost and died.
Hope appears here again. And there's a wine goblet here. I have no idea why this is highlighted. You can interact with it.
The spilt wine is laced with the perfume of an exquisite poison. An unexpected treat.
So, again, don't know why it's there, if it was just something that was unfinished, but you can interact with it, but that's it. And now we can talk to Hope.
Hello again, little mouse. The price for speaking is steep, but I must give warning. Your prize is just ahead in the archive, but you can't take it yet. And even if you could, you mustn't. Trigger the alarm, and Raphael will come swooping home on wings of malice to rip out your soul. In this house, thieves are melted like butter and spread onto toast. Shh. I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. I can. I shall. I can. I shall. The Archivist is the key, but he's as stubborn as a king and as serious as a heart attack. Exploit his piddling weakness and make him grovel! Oh no. They hear me. Speak quickly, speak softly. You know how this goes.
Okay, so again, we have a charisma check.
You steady your mind and prepare your questions.
Sister, my sister! What have you done? Sold me for soul scraps, torment me for fun. My dearest sister Carilla is in there too, pretending to browse the collection, acting all nonchalant. She's up to something. She won't let me escape. Not never, ever, never, ever. He fears authority figures. Perhaps his teacher took a strap to him and left a deep impression at an early age. There's one regular visitor that he particularly fears. She is... Shh.
A crack like breaking bone. Hope winces.
Scarier things than you, little mouse. Verilius Receptor. A High Inquisitor of Zariel. Officially entitled to audit Raphael's collection. Her true form is so gargantuan and mind-scarring to behold that she takes on many guises when she visits. Play your part well and you can be one of those blasphemous guises.
Okay, so she's given us the hint there on how to deal with the archivist.
Master is very indulgent of you, Carilla.
And look who.
I will not let you bring disorder into
Can't resist the faintest hint of a temptation, can you? I suppose that makes two of us. That little disguise Hope gave you is adorable. I can see right through it, of course. And so will Raphael. He's going to notice you nosing around his house. I hope you're ready to face a very angry devil. Poor deluded Hope. She's stubborn. Raphael loves stubborn. If she'd just agreed to serve him, he'd probably have released her a long time ago. As things stand, she's his favorite toy. We're all mad here. But Hope in hell? Why, that's the definition of insanity. Excellent! A scheme of lunatics. A conspiracy of fools. I can't wait to see how it ends. With extreme violence and a hint of grotesque farce, I suspect. Watch your back now. Unlike you, I don't have a death wish. Or an eternal torment wish. You want my advice? Enjoy whatever life remains to you. When Raphael catches you, you'll never enjoy anything again?
Okay, and now we can talk to the archivist.
A guest? Are you a client of the Master, or a visitor from elsewhere in the Hells? I do not believe you were invited. One moment. I shall consult the visitor's schedule.
His eyes flicker back and forth as if he is reading a book. He has the schedule memorized, or it's carved into his eyelids.
Most irregular. The schedule is all but clear, and yet you are here.
Okay, so here's your deception check that you can make. Okay, it's pretty high, but we'll try without it.
A thousand apologies, O majestic magistrate of the Infernal Court. Your mortal guise is so vile, I found it perfectly convincing. I would prostrate myself before you and kiss your calluses, but my spine is ruptured in 1,000 places. You do know how Raphael likes to play. As always, the archive is yours to peruse. You'll find everything accounted for, and I can present documents of procurement if necessary. An exquisite and most unique artifact, crafted with materials hewn from the depths of the hells by Raphael's Merrigan labor force. As it was created by Raphael himself, we have no documents of procurement, nor do we require any. But if you wish to examine the artifact itself, you are more than welcome. As part of the special collection, that item is guarded by a master word that even I do not know. I suggest you wait until Raphael returns, and you can discuss the matter with him. You are welcome to relax in the boudoir until then. It is where Raphael conducts his most private matters of business and pleasure. You will need this to gain access. The resident of the boudoir will wish to explore every inch of your new form, and I'm sure you will be happy to share.
Okay, so now you received a boudoir invitation, and this is what's going to allow you to get past the force curtain on the front. We're actually not going to go in that way, so it won't really matter for us. But let's take a quick look around. There's the Orphic Hammer, and it has an impervious sphere around it. If you interact with the sphere, it's going to ask you for a password. We do not have that password yet. We need to go find it. Over here, we have the Amulet of Greater Health. Sets the wearer's Constitution score to 23, and you have advantage on Constitution saving throw checks. That's a huge bonus in hit points that you can get by wearing it. It is on a trapped pedestal, though. So if you just walk up and grab it without detecting the trap, it will set off the alarm. Everybody goes hostile. Over on this side, you have the Gauntlets of Hill Giant Strength. Now, these are not actually Hill Giant Strength. Hill Giant Strength in tabletop is a strength of 21. This is a strength of 23, which I believe is Frost Giant Strength. I believe that's what that is. So the description of it is probably wrong. It does set your strength to 23, but the name of it is probably wrong. And it gives you strength saving throws +1. Again, it's sitting on a trapped pedestal. The hammer is not sitting on a trapped pedestal. It doesn't need to be. You have to get through the sphere to go get it. So let's go take a look at the boudoir. And for that, we're going to make our way all the way back around to that outside balcony that I talked to you about. But now if you go click on the Mystic Force Curtain, it will open for you if you have the invitation. Okay, so here we're going to start flying. And sometimes your companions follow you, sometimes they don't. Okay, so we're going to put everybody into hiding. We're going to split our group here because we need to deal with Harlep. Now, there are a couple of different ways this can play out. We are going to play it out with violence. And to do that, there's something kind of special that goes along with that. So we're going to go in here and we're going to have a conversation with Harlap. And this can get a little bit buggy, so I'm going to drop a save here. And I'm going to fly to the foot of the bed.
A lost little mouse is running through the house. A thief in the night, greedy and here to take. Why you here, little thief? Raphael? Ha! No. You will have a far crueler master than Raphael soon. But what inspired you to pay him a visit? Raphael all but spent himself to get that hammer. And you want to take it off him? This is very naughty. Whatever are we to do? Why don't we play a game? You win, I give you everything you desire. But you'll enjoy yourself more if you lose.
Okay, so if you play the game, you're going to have to pass increasingly difficult checks to withstand being entrapped here by Harlap. And it can lead to a game over. We're not going to do that. We're going to just attack here.
You will make a pretty feast.
Okay, and the reason that we move to the foot of the bed is so that Harlap would be facing us and not have a detection cone behind him.
Shall we?
And that allows us to get the rest of our party members into a fight here. Now, Harlap has an ability that we don't see here. Using their reaction, they can beguile you so that you don't, so that you're not able to attack again. We don't want that to happen. We want to use Harlap's reaction here.
Nothing important is ever
doing
easy.
something else. And we're going to do a provoke an attack of opportunity to use up that reaction. Okay, so now I can attack at will. Let me make sure I didn't look at resistances. So yeah, necrotic is not in there. He's vulnerable to psychic, which is going to help us. Oh, jeez. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm not going to Divine Smite here.
Now what?
Okay, so Astarion. Okay, we'll get him knocked down. And we'll just keep beating him up. There you go. Okay, now Harlap is going to have the Hell Dust gloves. Now I'm going to send these to Astarion. Got some underwear and the key from Raphael's safe.
I could go for a good meal.
I'm going to bring Harlap Black and Shadowheart in here.
Focused.
Trust no one.
So the Helldusk Gloves. So you gain +1 bonus to spell attack rolls and spell save DC. Your unarmed attacks deal an additional 1d6 necrotic damage and possibly inflict bleeding. Remember when we were wearing the flawed Helldusk Gloves, they were 1d4. This now ups that to 1d6, which is huge for us. So we're going to pop those over here and gain an additional set of necrotic damage. You can see it, 1d10 plus 1d6. That does stack with everything else that we're doing. Okay, so it's a straight upgrade for Astarion, and they are clothes, they are not armor, so it still doesn't affect his unarmored defense for his armor class. Now, we got a key
There's no time
to
to
his
waste.
safe. Well, where is his safe?
On I go.
Okay, and there's the perception check. And we passed 2 more down here on the restoration faucets. We'll talk about those here in a little bit.
I bite. Shall we?
We need to disarm the painting first. Okay, a pretty high DC. Not 20. Okay, and now we can press the button. And there is Raphael's safe.
Nothing hurts anymore. Open up.
So 5 soul coins for Karlak, which is good. We're going to be using those here in a little bit. And Raphael's notes. It's marked as a quest item. When we read it, we can see that the hammer will be kept safely in the archive. What shall the password be? Give me my heart's desire. So now we know the password
This will help us get what we need from the archive.
to get the
Another step forward.
Orphic hammer. Okay. So now is our last chance. Again, there's some things we can loot in here, and I guess we'll go look at that real quick before we have
tread carefully.
A speech about it, because we do have an opulent chest that we want to unlock here. Astarion. And another potion of angelic slumber. And another opulent chest here. With arcane cultivation potion in here. And now we can leave.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have.
Okay, now this becomes our final opportunity to leave. If we look at our quest items here, or our quests, so first, the Wizard of Waterdeep, we completed most of that last time. We found the Orphic Hammer, which is related to Lae'zel. We have found the gauntlets. We need to get them now. We're going to be stealing the hammer and then saving Hope afterwards. Helsik has been opening up some of our background. We learned that we were the ones that originally stole the Crown of Karsus. And we found the hammer, which obviously Orpheus and Kithrak Voss wants. And Raphael's probably not going to be happy with us. Breakyr's contract is still complete all the time, and we did complete the Ancient Tome, the Necromancy of Thay, last week. So this is our last chance to do anything that we want to do. I'm down a couple of spell slots. Okay. Not too worried about it, though. There's a reason for that. But if you want to head back to camp for anything, this is your last chance to be able to do that. Okay, you're not going to be able to leave without the Raphael fight after this. Okay, so this is your point of no return.
Don't waste a step.
Show
We
your
are ready.
invitation.
So we're going to head back here to the Archivist. And I'm going to take one last look. We're going to keep this set up for now. We will be changing out of it later. Okay, so yeah, Shadowheart needs to get the Hood of the Weave back on. And I think that's it. Okay, so let's head in here. We'll go interact with the sphere. Now, like I say, as soon as I do this, everything is going to change.
Magnificent exhibit. Wholly unique.
Let me just make sure. Checking my notes. Got that. Okay. So I think I'm ready. So here we go. This starts us down the path that may end our honor mode run.
There it is. The Orphic hammer, right within reach. A magical field surrounds the item, preventing you or anyone from touching it. You surmise it's controlled by a vocal component. Magic words.
Actually, there's one more thing I do need to check. Sorry. Okay. Was a good thing I did that. Was a very good thing that I did that. We forgot to get our spell tome back from Gale. That was really close. I'm actually going to pick this up before I go through here. We need to go to camp. And we need to go to Gale. Because Shadowheart needs that back. She doesn't need Rain Dancer back. Doesn't need any of the rest of this back either. She doesn't need Marco Heshgear. So that's what we need. Now if I search, I have 4 scrolls of Globe of Invulnerability. That's going to be a good backup plan for me. Well, it's going to be actually an integral part of how I play this. But you need at least one, but having multiple of them can help you do different things, which you will see. Now, as soon as you go back into the House of Hope, it hides your armor and puts you back in the debtor's attire. So you have the indebted disguise condition. Okay, so now I've got what I need.
Very well.
That was close. Okay, so now let's deal with the sphere.
That which you seek is still so close, yet so far.
So we can speak the magic words.
The magic blinks away at your words.
I'm all for thieving, but let's not be hasty. Steal this, and the devil will notice.
Yeah, I don't have to necessarily deal with the bomb. Right now, Rudy, I can put it back down when I'm in there and it doesn't cost me an action. So I'm not too worried about it, but yes, thank you for doing it, or thank you for reminding me of it. But yes, I can put that back without using an action. Well, thanks, Steven. Everyone's reminding me of it. Again, thank you very much, and just to make sure everybody is satisfied, I'll go put the bomb back. But you don't have to put it back, because you can drop it during the combat without using an action. I'm gonna be standing right here when the cutscene ends, and I can drop it right in the middle without using an action. I can't do that with the smoke powder barrels. I'd have to move to get over here to drop them and place them. The rune powder bomb is different just because of where I'm going to be placing it, but I'll go ahead and place it. I mean, there's no harm in it. But yes, thank you all for looking out for me. Like I say, I always appreciate it. So now we'll head back in here and we'll take the Orphic hammer.
Maybe I need more pockets.
Just rang Raphael's dinner bell.
And we're gonna get a cutscene.
You claim to be who you are not. Stole from my master, and now you expect to leave. The moment you step outside this room, all hells will break loose. A hopeless situation.
Okay, so before we go out there, we'll break our group. We'll take Shadowheart.
Onward then.
We'll have her go pass a perception check. There's that one.
Something over there.
And there's that one.
Something over there.
Now we'll come back. We'll cast Guidance on Astarion. And now we'll have him go disarm these. Okay, they're pretty high DCs. Oh boy, all these nat 20s means I'm going to be rolling nat 1s during the Raphael fight. And we'll pick up the Gauntlets of Hill Giant Strength. Then we'll disarm this one. And pick up the Amulet of Greater Health. Now, as far as both of those go, the Amulet of Greater Health, I'm going to put on Karlach. And the Gauntlets of Hill Giant Strength, it doesn't really matter what we do with them.
Let's get on with it.
But because we have 27 strength here, we're going to be using a different set of gloves entirely for me once we get through all of this. So the the Wondrous Gloves will be gotten rid of. So we'll probably put them on Shadowheart here. She's going to lose 1d4 damage on her weapon attacks, but she doesn't really utilize her weapons that much anyway. This will give her more carrying capacity. And with a strength of 23, that would actually offset that loss in necrotic damage with more physical damage.
No one stopped me
So
yet.
now I'm going to group everybody back up. We're going to go into hiding here. We're going to split the group. I'm going to take Astarian.
Nice and easy.
Out here, we're going to open the door.
How about this?
I've got good news.
And bad news. And worst news.
Good news. You got what you came for. Successful visit. Great success. Fantastic work. Bad news. So many things will be on fire when you step outside of this room. You included. That's okay, no, right? It's hell. You expected it to be hot. Worst news, Raphael's on his way home, and oh boy, he is spitting mad. You planned for this. I know you did. You have everything under control. It's really important that you don't panic, even when your eyes evaporate from the heat. Come to my prison, bring the hammer, break my chains, and then we exit stage any which way. Quick as a cockroach, lickety-split, if you don't mind.
Okay, so let's go open up the door here. Okay, and we get a smoldering eternal debtor out here. Now, these debtors have small amount of hit points, but that's just a disguise. Now, I don't think I can target them because of this stupid door. Oh, I can this one. This door works. Okay, so we'll get sneak attack damage in there before combat starts. Okay.
Step like
now, hope is going to be a problem with her detection codes. You need to move past her.
Did you get distracted? By the teeth in
Okay, and I forgot about that happening. That was a mistake. Not insurmountable, though. Okay, now you don't want to get into melee combat with the Hellsphere, if at all possible.
What a charmer. No time to rest? All right, time to skulk about.
Don't know if I can hit from here. I can. Okay, what are the resistances here? Immune to necrotic.
The mission has to come first. No time to dally.
I think this is probably out of range. I don't care if she hits very much or not. I'm not going to Divine Strike Thunder. There's a reason for that. Anything that knocks the Hellsphere back for some reason triggers a weird
Making me sweat.
interaction. And I'm going to leave Karlach out of the fight.
Where do I go from here?
Let's finish this.
Okay. And you see that the Hellsphere stays outside of the door. Now, if I throw with Karlach through that door and knock it backward, or if I trigger Divine Thunder and knock it backward, for some reason it resets it and it's able to come through this door. It destroys the door and then comes through it. I'm not sure why that happens, but I'm going to try and avoid that.
What should I do?
See if I can get Sacred Flame to land here.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
You see, it stays outside of the door. So I wish it wouldn't continue to move back and forth, but is what it is. So we'll just sit here and beat it up from range. But I'm not going to bring Karlach into this fight because I don't want her knocking this thing backward.
Talk to me.
And somehow triggering the sphere to break through the door. Because I have not isolated what causes that to happen. So do not react.
No choice but to keep going.
I'm going to move my bard, keep my bard in front. So if it does manage to break through here, it comes after my bard, who is immune to burning. And we'll just rinse and repeat. It takes a while, but this is by far the safest way to go about doing this. 2 nat 1s. Back to back.
My faith will protect me.
Get those out of the way now.
I can't even catch my breath.
Wow. 3 nat 1s out of 4 attack rolls. There it goes. Okay. So now I can bring Karlach into this because it's in here.
Come on, let's
so
go.
It doesn't matter now. He doesn't have any of the lightning jabbers. I must have thrown them somewhere and just not picked them up. Okay, so I'm going to throw Nirolna out here. I'm going to take a little damage in throwing this. Actually, I'll just throw the returning pike instead. Less damage, but...
This'll help.
Okay. So now for me, the Hellish Fear has a condition where if I'm within 3 meters of it at the end of the turn, I'm going to take 6d6 fire damage. On a dex save, I'll take half of that. So it is immune to psychic and necrotic. It's not immune to force damage. It's not immune, it's just resistant to radiant damage.
Let's have some carnage.
Okay, I'm actually
Never a
not going to
dull
end my
moment.
turn there. Okay, so it does not get opportunity attacks. That's what I wanted to check. So I need to change off of psychic to radiant. No.
Need to stay focused.
Now I'm not going to
dance
have
macabre.
Astarion stay there, because he does not get reactions. I'm gonna move back with him.
I'm ready.
Okay. So now I'm going to take
Never
my
quiet.
short rest. And I'm going to wait for the Hellfire to disappear. It does disappear. It's not permanent. It just takes a bit. There it goes.
Hey, good looking. For me?
You can search the Hell Spheres, but they don't have anything on them.
All right. What now? Light on my feet.
There will be one more of those that you're going to have to deal with.
I just want a little look.
Gently.
Perfect. Oh, okay, so it triggered these two as well.
Don't linger.
Let's think ahead.
I guess I can go get into two separate combats here.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
No reason not to. I'll do a surprise round on him. Outstanding.
Don't want to draw any attention.
Now I can... Where is she at? Okay, she's around the corner, I think.
Shall we cut and run?
Yep.
I can be subtle sometimes.
So now Hope has this huge detection cone.
Light on my feet.
I'll just move back out of the way and let
This feels
Astarion... Trying to deal with this
Let's move
for now. Okay. See if I can get within range.
Let's do it.
Okay, so now that's going to trigger. The new debtor is going to pop up. And while I'm invisible, I'll take the next shot and kill him.
Let's prowl.
Yeah, you have to move past Hope to get her to disappear and move that huge detection cone off, because it will detect you as well. Everybody was in hiding back there. Okay, so we're not going to be able to stay in hiding.
One step at a time.
Behind her, but once we get past her, we can go into hiding again.
Neither seen nor heard.
She'll take off. She'll knock me out of hiding.
My prison is just on the right.
But I'll be able to approach this next group. And there is the next hell sphere.
Waiting with bated
Now,
breath.
everybody else, I want to group them up. And we're going to move back here to the boudoir.
Seen everything.
Not there. To here. Oh no, that's the archive.
Let's see what you're hiding.
The boudoir's there. So we want to put everybody in here. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to split my group. And I'm going to put everybody in the water here.
Dum-de-dum. Whisper mode.
I have to survive this. I see a way.
I've missed this.
And then Astarion, with his big movement speed, is going to do the same thing. He's going to dash. Get an attack off. And then again, move into the water. Now the Hellsphere can get through that door without a problem. There's no door there, it's just an archway. So it can move straight in, but what it cannot do is travel into the water. Whoop. Love the change.
I'd love
in
to, thanks.
Let's get in and out.
visual there.
What's the story? That's it.
Cloak and dagger. My favorite.
And now you can see we're safe from all of the hellish flames. We can actually move up here and get close enough to melee attack. And then move back if you would like.
Now this is my happy place. This'll help.
Now Karlach is going to be doing the most damage here. Because the Hell Sphere has resistance to magical bludgeoning damage, but Karlach bypasses all of that.
Let's have some fun.
Get all these nat ones out of the way now.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
Let's go.
And we'll just rinse and
1, 2.
repeat. The Hell Spheres are by far the most dangerous of the enemies here. As you're working your way back through the corridors here. They're not the most dangerous enemies. Obviously, we're dealing with Raphael, but other than Raphael, there are 2 more enemies that are more dangerous than the Hell Spheres, in my opinion. And there we go. So now we'll again wait for the Hellfire to disappear. And we're now going to get into rescuing Hope.
Marching. Nice.
Must lug my guts through this hell. They should all be running.
Actually, I did forget that I have these last 2 groups here that I have to deal with. Outstanding.
On tippy toes.
Well done, Astarion.
Go.
Almost there. I'm so excited I could scream.
Okay, now here we've got 1 more here. And then we have a group of like 5, I think, that are here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe there's 4 in this central room. Okay, so we're going to break our group and have Astarion deal with this one very similarly that we as previously. Nice shot.
On the hunt.
We have to wait for the flames to disappear.
Quietly.
And then we will go talk to Hope real quick just to get rid of her detection cone.
No time to waste. Come quickly, come now.
And you just need to turn her. She's not going to go away.
Radio or not.
But you talk to her beside her so you can turn her detection cone away.
Silent as the grave.
Now this door you can't shoot through for some stupid reason. Okay, so that triggered combat with everybody. So let's throw an arrow of many targets in here. Now we will move back. Fly in here again, and we'll do the same thing. We'll drop 2 arrows of many targets. Okay, now that imp has a lot of movement speed. So he's probably going to be able to get into position to attack me. Oh, I killed him. I rolled a crit. Nice. Astarion might be able to take care of this all by himself. You don't want to get into melee combat with any of these. Because they have burning hide. That's going to cause an explosion. Nope, it didn't. Nice. What does he have left? 10 hit points? I'm golden. No, no, I'm not. Stupid door. Can't shoot through that door.
Yes, let's.
Okay, now I need to take care of something real quick, so I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so now we are ready to head into Hope's prison. I'm going to split Astarion off from this group entirely.
What now?
And I'm going to take everybody else down into the prison. Okay, now I'm going to split the group here and go up and press this button.
Here we go.
Careful! The jailer will swallow you whole if you take another step. And you won't be able to save me while you're being digested! You found my prison. My body is held in chains just beyond. The whole house is tumbling down and Raphael striding across the plains to come catch a mouse. And I swing that big, beautiful hammer, crack open my chains, and let's get out of here. It's time to fly this coop on a hope and a prayer. You sound so brave, but we really don't have a choice.
Breathe quiet.
Okay, so let's press the button. We'll open this door, and we can get a lay of the land here. So here's Hope. There are 2 crystals that you can only destroy with the Orphic Hammer. There are 1, 2, 3. And I believe there's 2 more that spawn up here. Vengeful Imps. And there are 2 spectators. Fun, fun, fun. Here. Now, there's another way into this place. Okay, and that's through this cragged rock.
Watch the shadows. Leave no trace.
Put him into hiding, and we're gonna head in here. Okay. I'm actually gonna go into turn-based mode right now. Man, I'm gonna get this party started. Now the spectators, they are vulnerable to psychic damage just because they're steeped in bliss now. So I'm going to make sure I change back to psychic damage. And let's get started here. So we'll stagger him. We're going to key empower this punch. We'll move around to the other side of him. We will key empower a bonus action punch. And then we will detonate. Forgot about Befuddled. That was another mistake. So we'll deal with that here in a second. I thought he was staggered. He was staggered. Oh, yeah. I forgot legendary actions. Yeah, this is something that changed in patch 7. Nobody asked Larian to give these spectators legendary actions, but they did anyway. Absolutely kidding me.
What a charmer.
Mistakes were made.
Wits and blades, always
Now I
sharp.
can't get Karlak in there because as soon as she gets close, it triggers turn-based mode for her. Astarion is probably going to die here.
Attention!
There goes Astarion. So he died because of it, but... So the spectators in honor mode, they have a legendary action, Ocular Nightmare. So after accumulating 5 paranoid dreams, the spectator will spend a legendary action to cast Ocular Nightmare when it is next struck. So paranoid dreams, when the spectator is struck, it acquires Ocular Nightmares. Okay. So every time that it gets hit with damage, it's going to gain one of these. When it gets 5 of them, it's going to cast Ocular Nightmare. Okay, and Ocular Nightmare is going to either wound, confuse, paralyze, or frighten all foes within 20 meters of your flailing eye rays, and it does it for 2 turns. Okay. So the reactions here are kind of stupid. What they've turned a spectator into here in this fight. Now, I don't care about the attack of opportunity. I need to get my bard over here next to the spectator. Not worried about that. So resistance is none. Okay, we don't want it on the imp. We want it on the spectator. And that's how you end a spectator. You don't give them enough chances to build up damage. So I'm not able to fly there. Okay. So now we'll bring Arlac into this. Hey, Depot Guy, welcome. Yeah, it's a combination. It's really a Bardidin, a Bard Paladin build that has Warlock levels just so it can fight in darkness. Is really what it's about. Okay, and now where is the last one? There he is. Okay. So that went badly just due to poor planning on my part. Because I forgot about the build-up. That happens with that legendary action. It was just there's no excuse for it. It was just bad planning on my part.
My faith will guide me. This way.
But it never should have happened. Because once he got stunned for 2 turns, it knocked me out of... I mean, I had no way to refresh the combat since he was the only one in it. Then I brought my bard in to get into combat, and that spectator managed to cast Paralyzing Ray on me and managed to make it land. So I skipped my turn and had to go through it all again. And you saw I rolled a nat 1 on initiative because my bard ended up at the very end of the initiative order. Everything that could have gone wrong there went wrong. So, but it was still, there's still no excuse for it. It was still entirely my fault
road ahead.
On how it played out. So we're going to have to rebuff up Astarion
Still
here.
in control. Just.
Don't touch me.
All is ashen meat.
Okay, and now for this, we need to equip the Orphic Hammer. And we need to attack the crystals. Now we'll fly back down here in the middle. Fly back up here and attack the other one.
I never thought I would be believed. I could be hoped I might be. Heads will roll! But we must dress the Hollyphant in the room. I can see how you avoid looking at me. I must be so terribly mutilated after all these decades of torture. Don't hold back. Tell me how bad it is. I'd blush if they had left me any skin to redden, and I would kiss you if they had not torn off my lips. You truly are the kindest fool I've ever met. We'll carve our way to the entrance hall and chop Raphael into messes. That's the hopeful version, of course. The likely version is that we are the messes and he is the chopper. Onwards!
And now Hope becomes a companion to your main character. She is not able to be split off from your character. You don't necessarily need her to be. But I'm going to get everybody back here.
If not over, then through.
And Karlak jumped off a cliff. I knew that was going to happen. I just knew it. The stupid pathing in this game drives me absolutely crazy. This is so stupid.
I'm ready.
God, this is so dumb.
Don't touch me.
This is the crap that in honor mode drives you absolutely nuts. It pisses you off.
Take you.
That she just walks off a flipping cliff.
How many die today? How many die tomorrow?
God. Just pisses me off. Okay, there's my rant on pathing for like the 900th time in this playthrough.
Wanna dance?
Gotta spend some more elixirs to buff her back up now.
Where am I? What's going on?
Jeez. Okay.
Should mind my
So
step.
now, Raphael. Saving grace here. If there is a bright spot amongst all of this shenanigans that have happened, it's here. And that's that there are 2 restoration faucets here.
Let's see.
If you click on one, it is in what happened with Astarion.
What a day.
Is there a reason that did not heal him? Wow. This game, I need to take a second here. I'm frustrated enough that I'm going to stop thinking straight right before the biggest fight in the game. I'm so frustrated right now. I cannot even tell you how frustrated I am. There's got to be something that prevented that from happening. I don't know what it is or why. He did not get any of his hit points back. He got his key points back. He didn't get any of his hit points back. Dang. Okay, so what the faucets do is they give you the equivalent of a long rest. Okay. Now, it's a special long rest in that it does not remove your buffs that you have. It just regenerates all of your long rest things. So your rage charges,
Never a dull moment.
your spell slots, all of that stuff is regenerated by the faucets here. Now something else is weird because in honor mode these are only supposed to be able to be used once. And it looks like I can click on this one again. So I'm
Must be on my
afraid
way.
of what's happening here. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our way in here. And we will do one last check here because there's something we definitely need to remove, and that's that we need to get the Deva Mace back on. The Deva Mace is my packed weapon.
His favorite color is blood. And he probably knows 1,000 ways to kill us. This is going to hurt.
Okay. Now I want to break my group and after this conversation, Hope is going to respawn right here. So I want to put all of my other characters close by.
Onward in her name.
How delicious. On my way.
Okay. To prepare for something that's going to be happening here. So take one last look through my gear because we do want to make a change here. So what we're going to do here is make a change on my bard. So the Helm of Arcane Acuity is going to give me a +1 bonus to spell attack rolls and spell DC, okay, for each turn remaining. right? And with this, whenever I deal damage, I'm going to gain it for 2 turns. So if I'm doing 2 attacks, that's +4. If I'm using my Bardic Inspirations to do something like a Slashing Flourish ranged, that's 4 attacks in a round. And that could be a +8 to my spell save DC. Right, so I'm going to change that off. And then the Brain Drain Gloves. So when you deal psychic damage, you also inflict mental fatigue on the target for 2 turns. So the affected entity has a -1 penalty to Wisdom, Intelligence, and Charisma saving throws for every turn remaining. Okay, so whenever I deal psychic damage, and I'm going to be dealing psychic damage whenever I'm concentrating on a spell, whenever I deal psychic damage, I'm going to inflict a -2 penalty on them as well. So if I deal psychic damage with all of those attacks, I'm going to get a +8 to my spell save DC and a -8 to their spell save DC. That means that I have almost a 100% chance to land a spell that is going to keep Raphael from attacking. It's going to make him skip his turn. Something like Tasha's Hideous Laughter, or something like that. That
Keep it together.
is a wisdom save and is going to cause him to skip his turn, basically. Now, there is another part of this, and because, see, whenever I'm concentrating on a spell, which I am now with Hex, I'm going to deal psychic damage. Okay, so there is, oh, and I forgot, we did pick up the hat from Helsik before we came in here. At the start of combat, the wearer gains momentum equal to their charisma modifier, which is really big for me, and I gain advantage on Constitution saving throws, but again, not something that I'm going to be focused on for this fight. Okay, so I don't need Broodmother's Revenge anymore, because I'm not going to be getting healed from the Helm of Baldur to proc the poison damage. So I'm going to swap that out for the Surgeon's Subjugation Amulet. So now when I score a crit, I can paralyze the target for 2 turns. I can score a crit whenever I feel like it, either by using Executioner or by using Luck of the Far Realms. I have both of those available, which means as long as I can hit Raphael, I can make it be a crit, and I can paralyze him and make him skip his turn. Okay, now the paralyze and the Tashas and hold monster and all that sort of stuff only last for 1 turn with Raphael. He has a legendary ability that removes all incapacitations after 1 turn. Okay, so once that's all taken care of, or once that turn passes, then he's back to normal, and you do it again. Depote guy, you'll see that they pre-throwing things on the floor before the conversation with Raphael no longer works. We'll throw it out right at the start with our first kind of interaction that we're going to have here. So let's make sure that we have everybody else ready. I'm going to unequip this and re-equip it. Just in case. I'm going to swap Gaunter Mail with the Titan String Bow to Astarion here. My Deva Mace still has the cold damage. And I need to put the Sentient Amulet back on. I'm not going to be fighting in darkness for this, so let's swap out Astarian's ring here as well. Okay. So I think we are all ready to go here.
What to do?
Okay, so I guess wish us luck. So hard weapons changed. Miscellaneous bow. Okay, so let's go click on the portal.
Time slows for a moment, and the air becomes thicker. The master of the house is coming.
You. There are many things in your world that I loathe. Litters of kittens, chattering children, the noise and the chaos of it all. In my world, in my house, there is order and there is decorum. You came here uninvited and you stole from me. In doing so, you brought the chaos of your world into mine. I will not abide it.
Sister, oh sister, I've wept and I've cried, but all would be well if you were by my side.
Oh, Hope, you are such a piteous thing. All it takes is a crumb from the table and you forget the centuries of starvation. This insolence has earned you centuries more. Carilla, tell our unwelcome guest about your role in their tragic downfall.
I permitted you the freedom to decide your own fate. You could have been smart, selfless, saved the world. Instead, you came here and risked everything.
It's the fatal flaw of mortal kind. Take away their free will and they call you a tyrant. Allow them to indulge it and they become tyrants. You would have been heroes if you'd only dealt fairly with me. Instead, you're not so different to doomed Carsus, overreaching your limits and burning your world to ash.
Wrong, wrong, wrong! They will save their world and smash you to smithereens.
It's this charming naivety that makes your company such a joy to me, Hope. I'll even forgive this little rebellion once you're suitably chastised.
This isn't a rebellion. It's a revolt. I'm revolting!
Then Hope dies today. Commander, you can salvage a trophy from these insects when I'm done with them.
My name is Georgia. These insects understand the honor of hunters better than you ever will, trickster. They help me to eliminate my prey beneath the Shadowlands. Prey that you hoped I would never find. And that's why I helped them find your home.
You did what? I will make you suffer torment so vile, the hells themselves will shudder to see them. And whatever torments I invent for your gear, I will perfect in the centuries I spend toying with your soul. If you have any last words, make it quick. It will only take a moment to finish you.
Okay, now much is going to depend upon the initiative roll, and I do not mean the initiative roll against Raphael. Raphael normally rolls pretty low in initiative. The initiative roll I'm talking about is your gear. This fight can be substantially easier if your gear is not in it. Ironically enough, you can't control him. He loves to blow things up. If he rolls before any of my characters get a turn, there's going to be a serious problem. Because he will more than likely go blow up the rune powder bomb, and we are going to have an issue. If he rolls in front of 3 of the 4 characters, it's going to throw a serious kink in my plans for how I want to enact this fight. Your gear's on our side, but he's not controllable and he's just stupid. So this is the biggest problem that I think I'm going to have, other than Raphael, and we will see where he rolls in initiative. The best of all worlds is that if all 4 of my characters roll first, then your gear goes, then all of the enemies, and then hope at the very end. That's the best of all worlds. If he rolls first and I can't do anything, things could go extremely badly here.
Hope. It always burns you in the end, little mouse. Now, down comes the claw.
Okay, so it could have been worse. It could have been much better as well. So I could also, boy, I'm really hesitating now that I rolled this way. On what to do here. Okay. I think I can still make this work.
Still on my feet.
Astarion, it would have been a lot easier if he would have rolled in front of your gear. Because I'm trying to save Corilla's life. This is Hope's sister. You get a different dialogue option at the end of this if you can save her life. Now, there's only one way to save her life. And that is to knock her out so that she no longer becomes a target for your gear. Otherwise, he's gonna blow her up. But I also need to set off the rune powder bomb on this turn. And I have to play this so that I knock Corilla out. I then have to throw a globe of invulnerability on top of her so that the rune powder bomb does not blow her up while she's knocked unconscious. That's 2 actions. Then I have to cast Globe of Invulnerability with Shadowheart on this group here. That's a 3rd action. And then I have to blow up the rune powder bomb. That's a 4th action. And I have to do that with 2 characters here. So I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna fly back to here. I'm going to have Shadowheart.
Not now.
throw a haste spore grenade here. That's going to put the cloud here and give everybody here an additional action. That will replenish Shadowheart's action, so she can then cast the Globe of Invulnerability on this group. I will take my Bard over here. I will attack Corilla with the non-lethal attacks on and hopefully knock her out in one strike. And then with my second action, cast Globe of Invulnerability. And then with my second attack that I have left, shoot the Rune Powder Bomb. That's the plan. We'll see if this works. And I'm going to kind of throw this back a little ways. There's a particular reason for that. Okay.
Got to focus.
So now Shadowheart. Can cast Globe of Invulnerability. And the way you want to cast this is you want to leave... You want your characters to be in it, but you want to leave the front edges close to your characters. Okay. There's a reason for that as well. What will happen is the Cambions will fly up and stand next to you and attack you, and if they're too close, they'll be inside the Globe of Vulnerability as well, and then you'll have to drop the globe to cause them damage. You want them to be able to attack you from a ways off but not be invulnerable, but your characters are invulnerable, and you can see the globe icon at the end over there. So now I have two actions. So we're going to fly here. Okay, let's toggle non-lethal attacks. And we have about a 50-50 chance of knocking her out. And I rolled a 1. I didn't want to use Executioner on this. But I don't have a choice. Okay, so with my action here, I'm going to cast Globe of Invulnerability on us both, and now with my second action, oh, you're absolutely insane. He rolled a 3. You're absolutely kidding me. She rolled minimum damage. Damage roll of 1. She rolled minimum damage. Okay. Okay. This is so stupid. I'm not going to take any chances with this. No, turn that off. Okay. So doing that did a couple of things. One, it did take out all the soul pillars. So now you see that he has legendary actions, Beguiling Rebuke. Okay, so he can spend a legendary action to immediately beguile a hostile creature and its allies after being attacked. Okay. And to beguile, the creature cannot attack Raphael. Okay. So it's important on now how we deal with Raphael throughout the remainder of this. Okay. So I still have my bonus action, so his first turn, he's probably not going to do anything here. Okay, so I think I'm gonna pop Shield of Thralls here. And now we'll see what your gear does.
Can't give up.
Okay, nothing else from Shadowheart. So that was really good. So used up 2 turns of his Beguiling Rebuke. Okay. So let's okay, so we're going to get her into the haste spores.
Detected
And let's see, I can't remember what Beguiling Rebuke is. It's a wisdom save. So let's get Astarion first. To go make attacks against Raphael. Because if he can trigger, he has the best chance as a wisdom save. He's got a +6 to his saving throws. So let's just throw some ranged attacks at him, because if he can't attack Raphael anymore, I would prefer him not to be out here somewhere. I'd prefer him to be in a globe. So I guess I could move over here and do that attack from here. He's invulnerable again. So, actually, you know what? Let's stagger him. Let's try and stagger him. Okay, so we'll proc Luck of Far Realms. Okay, so he charmed Astarion. So yeah, I can't attack him. So what did he roll? He rolled a 7. Okay, so Karlak,
Oh, my word.
We'll see. We're gonna chuck an enraged throw over there and see if she's able to resist it or not.
That's it.
Okay, so Karlak doesn't seem to trigger, her throw attacks don't seem to trigger. This, which is awesome, so let's just load up. Okay, so Karlak is now done. Astarion cannot attack here anymore, so he's just gonna move back into the globe. He can't attack Raphael anymore, so we'll throw some I could have him cast Celestial Haste and just get ready for his next one. That would probably be a good idea. With his action. And then let's just throw out an arrow of many targets.
Come on then.
Okay. So I think that's as best I can do. And we'll see what Raphael does on his turn. Okay, I'm not too worried about these. Because they're attacking somebody who's invulnerable. I'll take the opportunity attack. He's looking for your gear. Okay, now, did he become invulnerable? He did, so I'm not going to react. many hit points? 32. There's one there. This is the one I want. Okay. So now I have an opportunity with Hope to revoke guest status. And with this, I can banish one of the Cambions. So the one with the highest health. I'll just banish. Okay, so now we're back, and now you see that Raphael no longer has any charges of Beguiling Rebuke. That's because Beguiling Rebuke is based upon how many soul pillars are available at the start of his turn. So he had 4 of them at the start of the turn last time. He has none right now, so he has no legendary action to be able to use. So now all of our attacks are going to land, and we can just beat the living snot out of him. Okay, that is our only goal for the remainder of this now, is just to teach Raphael who's in charge here. Okay? So he just doesn't have any charges of it left. So let's get over there. No, I'm not going to do that with Shadowheart. So he's invulnerable, not invulnerable, not invulnerable. So we don't want to attack. These have fleeting protection. So if you hit them with radiant damage, then twice that damage is reflected back to me as fire damage. So we do not want to hit them with that. So we can hit them with any other type though. And remember, Destructive Wave also has a necrotic version. They are not resistant to necrotic or thunder. Okay, and now I can walk backwards into the haste spores. And I can do it again.
Survival is all that matters.
Now for me, actually, I didn't want to do that. Let's provoke the attack of opportunity. Okay, and we'll fly out here. Okay, I don't think he's going to survive this turn, but I'm not going to take any chances. So let's do a slashing flourish ranged. And I can land a crit here. Okay, and now see, he's got 4 turns of mental fatigue. Okay. And I have 7 turns of arcane acuity. That's giving me a plus 11 to land spells on him. All right, and now if I lands something like Tasha's Hideous Laughter or something like that, it's got a 95% chance to land. Now, this would break Globe Invulnerability, and I'd have to put it back up with somebody else. So I'd prefer not to do that. So let's fly back up here and just beat him in the face. Goes the dynamite. Boom goes the dynamite. And now he doesn't have any reactions left, so we will move back into the globe. And now, again, we will see what your gear does. Hopefully, he faces Raphael and just keeps attacking him there. That would be the best of all worlds.
Frost.
Oh no, what's he doing? Okay, that's fine too. No, don't do that. Okay, alright, that's fine. You just had a regular crossbow shot. That I'm perfectly fine with. So let's get haste.
Detected and all.
Good idea, Carla.
Let's go. Let's go. And there she is. So now what do we have left here? 32 and 29. Oh, easy.
Behold the dance
Easy.
of death.
We'll drop this globe.
Watch this.
We'll go back to Karlak.
Handy.
And now Starian. Then just mop this up.
It's absolutely preposterous that any of us are alive. Maybe we're not. Pinch yourself and check we're not dreaming the last of our lives as we die screaming. Then we're not just fine, we're spectacular. What a wonderful, jubilant, glorious day. My beautiful sister is mostly intact. You could have broken her in half like a breadstick, but you didn't. I am sorry she fought you. I'm glad she survived. She deserves some of the blame. Serving him was a choice, but she was an entire person before she ever made that choice. When we were children, she always kept the last piece of pastry for me and bloodied the nose of the bullies who pulled my hair. She's my sister. I love her. And despite all the years I've lost, I have enough love left for you as well. I hope it guides you home.
For the first time since you heard her voice, hope seems calm, and the peace flows from her into you, soothing your very soul.
So that was the special dialogue that you get if you save Karilla as well. She will thank you for doing that, and you get a little bit about their childhood.
Nowhere but here. I don't quite think I know where anywhere else is anymore. With a lick of paint and a thorough cleaning, this could be a lovely little house. And I can hardly leave. After all, who would ever want to think of hell without hope? I hope I'll see Karilla again one day, and that she'll say sorry, and I'll tell her she's forgiven. I hope I find all the pieces of my mind that fell out of my head over all those years, and that I'll be able to put myself back together again. I hope the echoes of pain will fade, and memories of sorrow will die, and that you'll visit me here someday. And I hope you have a happy ending of your own.
And Carilla is still alive. And that's why we got that conversation with her. So I'm glad we were able to do that. It's not a conversation that you get to see very often. Now, Carilla will stay here knocked out. You cannot help her. You cannot bring her back. You can heal her up if you would like, but you cannot bring her back or have any conversations with her. When you take a long rest, you'll come back here and she will have disappeared. She won't be here in the House of Hope. I can't find out. I have not been able to find where she is. I don't think she appears in the game again anywhere. But you were able to save them. So let's do a couple of things here. We're running a little long for today on this, but I'm sure y'all don't mind. So let's do a couple of things.
What's up for
Talk to your
discussion?
gear.
You fought well. We could use such strength in the Blood War. Now I'm free of Raphael's blasted contract. I can return to the front lines. Hunting shadows in a temple for 100 years was a break. I'll have slain a score of demons before you have your next hot meal. Whoever your enemies are, they have good reason to fear you. And I'll gladly lend you my skills against them when the time comes. Until then, good luck to you, little rabbit. You're a finer hunter than any wolf.
And your gear's going to disappear. Now we can search Raphael, and all that's on him are his diaries. Normally you would get the Helldusk armor, but of course we beat him up for that all the way back in Act 1. So at this point, fighting him is a bit anticlimactic as far as the rewards for the gear go. What we did get, though, were the Gloves of Soul Catching. Now, these are one of the best monk gloves that you can have. Your unarmed attacks deal an additional 1d10 force damage. Now, 1d10 is a huge bonus.
What now?
Because right now the biggest bonus we've been able to get is 1d6. Okay, so upping that to 1d10 now gives him 56 possible total damage with his unarmed strikes. And his flurry of blows now goes up to 112. It also has soul catching. Once per turn on an unarmed hit, you regain 10 hit points. That is once per turn. Okay, so you're going to always gain 10 hit points on your first hit that you make. However, you can forego healing to gain advantage on attack rolls and saving throws until the end of your next turn. Okay, it's going to give you a choice to be able to pick which one of those you want. So if you're at max health, you can gain advantage on attack rolls and saving throws. If you need health, you can choose the healing. Also, Constitution +2. That's going to bring him now up to 18, and that boosts his hit points from 99 up to 111. So, the best monk gloves in the game. You get them here at this time in the game every time. You normally don't do this until you're at least level 12. So it's something that's delayed for quite a while, but well worth it to be here.
Blood whispers.
So, as frustrated as I was an hour ago with me misplaying the spectator fight and Karlach jumping off a cliff because of the stupid pathing in this game, and then the horrific damage roll against the rune powder bomb that caused me to have to use Terazul, which is why I had it. It's an emergent, that's why I bought it. It's an emergency thing. After that, everything went really well. Yurgir did not attack me with his force crossbow stuff and knock me out of the globe's invulnerability. I was able to get both globes up and save Karilla, and the attacks that Raphael was able to land were nothing. He didn't get enough soul charges to change to his ultimate form, where things really get dangerous. So killing him in 2 turns prevented all of that. So that fight went really, really well. It wasn't one-turned, but at the end of the day, we weren't really going for that. We were trying to do some additional things here, and it seemed to work out really well. So I'm going to drop a save there, and I'm going to go relax for a little bit, because it's been an extremely stressful episode for me. So I do want to thank all of you for being here today. Like I say, my community is great. All of the helpful hints that y'all throw out, and the reminders, especially for me, are always appreciated. Always. Don't ever quit doing that. Because like I say, without my great community support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Droval saying, until next time, fare thee well.